What is going on, everybody? Justin Kish here for NexusSportsNetwork.com. Thank you so much for checking out tonight's video. Tonight, guys, a lot of good things going on in the world of college football. What about the National Football League? You know, the last couple of days, a lot of teams have been parting ways just to make sure that team hits their 53-man roster. A lot of waves, a lot of trades, a lot of releasings from the teams, a lot of shocking, not too much shocking moves. Just a lot of things going on in the world of football, including today. College football is back. Week 1 is officially, getting close to being in the books. We got a lot of great games. We got Florida State, playing on, I want to say they're playing against Ole Miss tomorrow. Just a lot of great things going on in the world of college football in Week 1. A lot of upsets. But what about the NFL? Like I said in the beginning of the video, let's talk about a trade that went down tonight or earlier this morning. I'm a kind of guy that, likes to, when I'm driving to work, driving home from work, I listen to, ESPN Arizona radio. I'm based in Arizona, and I'm not listening to the radio, but when I get home, a friend of mine informs me that Sam Bradford has been traded to the Minnesota Vikings. And I want to say this is around 8 o'clock in the morning, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, are you serious? He goes, yeah, and then all of a sudden I click on NFL Network, and what do you know? Sam Bradford is officially traded to the Minnesota Vikings for a 2017 first-round selection and a 2018 fourth-round selection. Now, this trade is very shocking because let's break this down a little bit. The Philadelphia Eagles are a team that is in the rebuilding process. A lot of people are really down on their offense a little bit. I know they have some pieces around them, but like last year, Nelson Aguilar was a complete, bust. Dorial Green-Beckham was brought in during the offseason. There's just a lot of, there's a lot of yes in this team, but they just don't have the pieces as to right now to become a division winner, to become a Super Bowl contender. This team is not ready for that yet. They don't even have a suitable quarterback right now. And they did that. They went out in the draft. They drafted Carson Wentz, but they lost a whole lot. They lost a first-round pick, I want to say, in 2017, so they were not able to draft in 2017 in the first round, but now they're able to do so because they're getting the Minnesota Vikings selection. The Eagles need to get as much draft picks as they can possibly get so that they can able to, revamp, rebuild, and hopefully, in the next couple of years, this Eagles team will be back to, when they had Donovan McNabb. So hopefully, that team can get back to being a contender. But there's been a lot of drama as to regards to the quarterback position, throughout the entire offseason, regarding Sam Bradford. Doug Peterson, the new Philadelphia Eagles head coach, said that he's going to be becoming the starter, come Week 1. And then going into the preseason, did decent, not the greatest job. And now look where it is. The Minnesota Vikings have a lot of, was struck, at a random. News broke out that Teddy Bridgewater completely tore his ACL. A knee was dislocated so severely that it made teammates sick. They were thrown up on the sides. Very gruesome sight. That leaves the Minnesota Vikings with what? Shaun Hill, Taylor Heinicke. Y'all know how I am about Taylor Heinicke. I've always felt that he can end up becoming a solid backup in the NFL, but a starter caliber, I just don't see it. I don't think Taylor Heinicke can take one over and really lead that team to, back-to-back division championships. Shaun Hill, an aging veteran of this game, can you really depend on him? No, I will not really trust my team because when you come in and look at it, this offense is now going to be running through Adrian Peterson. And what really sucks about this is that the Vikings have been, continuing to add offensive pieces. They just got, Laquan Treadwell from Ole Miss in the draft this year. They're revamping. They're putting, they're putting, targets for Teddy Bridgewater. But now that Teddy Bridgewater is now gone, they're now targets for Shaun Hill. Now it's going to be Sam Bradford at some point because Sam Bradford's coming over to Minnesota. Now, do I think Sam Bradford's going to end up becoming that quarterback that's going to lead this Minnesota Vikings team, into the promised land and potentially into the Super Bowl? No. I don't think Sam Bradford is at all a Super Bowl contending quarterback. I don't think he's a Super Bowl based quarterback. I just cannot see him, at a random putting on one of the best performances of his entire life, with the Minnesota Vikings because we've seen what he has done in Philadelphia and St. Louis. Or you can probably say the Los Angeles Rams, even though he hasn't played in LA, but they're now the LA Rams. But what we did, and how he's, performed in St. Louis and in Philadelphia. down the line of a year, Sam Bradford will, miss strides. He will, rush passes. He will completely, become inaccurate, by midseason. And then, some teams, even at that time, the Rams would think about benching the guy because he is not becoming, consistent enough quarterback. In Philadelphia, he started pretty slow, but he got really hot at the end of the year. You cannot have that. You have to have a consistent enough quarterback week in and week out, a quarterback that can go in there and, throw at least, 200 yards a game, that can, contend, that knows that you're using your pieces around you. You're not building through just one person. And, Sam Bradford has yet to really prove that. Sam Bradford has a lot of down performances as of late, and I just do not trust him a whole lot to really lead this Vikings team into the promised land, into the playoffs, and beyond that. So, what I'm trying to understand here is I think that, this deal, ultimately will hurt the Minnesota Vikings. They coughed up 2 draft picks, one big-time draft pick in 2017 to get Sam Bradford in, and, a 4th-round pick is basically, a depth move, a depth draft pick, in the middle rounds in 2018. I think that Sam Bradford's going to be, a one-and-done in Minnesota. And the Minnesota Vikings are at crunch time. It shows you how desperate this team is to get a quarterback in, and honestly, is Sam Bradford the answer? No, because you're only going to have him for a year and a half, because at some point Sam Bradford's going to be complaining, saying, I don't want to be here, I want to be starting. Sam, what team will want to take you on right now? There's a very small, list of teams that will take you on. The Dallas Cowboys? No, the Dallas Cowboys don't want you for your salary. They got Mark Sanchez, so that was obviously, out the door. There's no opportunity for you to even go to Dallas, because once Tony Romo comes back, they already have an emerged Dak Prescott, so where do you fit into the mold? Nowhere. I cannot even think of another team. Maybe the Miami Dolphins. If Ryan Tannehill does not get his stuff together this year, could he be on? Could he end up becoming benched? I don't think so, because look at the contract he just signed not too long ago. His chances are very much dwindling until Sam Bradford's going to have to accept the fact that he is going to be a number 2 quarterback in this league. So Teddy Bridgewater is number 1 on this team when he comes back. Now, Sean Hill, this could be, Sam Bradford could possibly even come to terms right now that he is a number 2 quarterback, because Philadelphia, and, this is his opportunity now to become a starter, but, once Teddy Bridgewater is back, he's back inked in as starter. So, Sam Bradford's going to have to, at some point this year, he will get the ball. I don't trust Sean Hill to really lead this team. I don't expect him to be, out of this world fantastic. But Sam Bradford at some point will accept the fact that he is a backup quarterback. So he is on to Minnesota, but what does it mean for the Philadelphia Eagles? Who is their starting quarterback? Now, what's being said right now is that Chase Daniel is extremely upset with the organization right now, because he is now going to end up playing second fiddle to Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz is dealing with a rib injury. He is going to be out. I want to say, or hopefully he's going to be able to suit up, because he's missed the last 3 weeks of the preseason due to a rib injury sustained in a game against Tampa Bay in week 1 of the preseason. He's missed a handful of time, and guys like Chase Daniel, Sam Bradford was playing, Bethel Thompson was playing. It's a big clusterfuck of an issue out there in Philadelphia. Sorry to use that language, but like I said, it is just a big cluster issue out there in Philadelphia, and Chase Daniel is now not having it. He is a guy who really made a name for himself as a solid backup in Kansas City. If we saw that game against San Diego, I want to say 2013, it was all of the Kansas City backups against the San Diego Chargers. So, he completely, decimated all of the San Diego Chargers, first team, and he just went to work and just drained it down their throats. That eventually, got him, out of Kansas City and potentially into an opportunity where he was able to start, with Doug Peterson, who he's played with, he was his coach, or Doug Peterson was Chase Daniel's coach in Kansas City, so he came and followed him over to Pennsylvania, the Philadelphia Eagles, and joined him there. Now, the Eagles think it's the best opportunity right now to start Carson Wentz. I don't think Carson Wentz is ready. I think Chase Daniel should become the starter. I think they should stay proven to their word that Carson Wentz should be into a redshirt year. Am I saying that they should go out into free agency and find somebody else to become a backup? That will be the best likely, but I don't think Carson Wentz is ready right now to take over this Philadelphia Eagles squad and have his career start the way it is right now, coming off of a broken rib injury. I cannot see him, immediately be thrown into the wolves come week 1 and then just completely bomb it. it's just he's not set up right now to become the starter. I think Chase Daniel, who's been a lengthy veteran in the NFL for quite a while now, I think he should be the one getting the start over Carson Wentz. But maybe that could change, maybe not. That's just my opinion on this. There's just a lot of things going on in the world of the NFL. So that is my opinion on the subject. Sam Bradford is now a member of the Minnesota Vikings. Will he officially come to terms that he is now a backup quarterback? What do you think about Carson Wentz becoming the starting quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles? Do you think Chase Daniel should start over Carson Wentz? Let me hear your guys' opinion about this. My name is Justin Kish for NexusSportsNetwork.com. And I'll catch you guys in my next video.